Hey, hey, how's it going? Z here. I want to talk to you about something. It is now May 31st, and looks like a lot of people are going back to work, or most of the people are getting back to work now, and back factories and some stores are opening up more, and people are starting to get more healthier. More people are going out. Still, it has some issues of the COVID-19 issue, but seems to be getting better out there. So that's good news. So what I want to talk to you about today is about the deep states and the cabal regarding that. And no, I don't have no major news or any news flash, nothing really, no insiders or whatever you want to call it. Well, I just want to talk about some videos that I've seen. And I'm not going to try to slam anybody or give the wrong impression. I'm just giving my point of view and opinion of what I've seen. Okay. I watched a video just now of, I'll say David Wilcock. Okay. He did a stream, and I had nothing against it. He's got some pretty decent information, and so most of it, that I've seen are right on. Some of it's still questionable, but it's normal. We all have to ask questions ourselves to know the truth. Anyways, I was really looking forward to hearing some, somewhat fresh, a couple of fresh new things. Unfortunately, I only saw two fresh new things that he was talking about, other than the usual rants and comments that he's made. The ones that he mentioned were about George Floyd, and I don't blame him. I think it was really bad what happened, and I hope justice will be more swift for the future, but that's going to be hard to say. And I'm really sorry when this happened, and I hope it. All I can say is I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it, and I hope it doesn't. It's really unfortunate very sad that this happened. And I saw the video, and it's pretty sad. I don't know. I'm kind of speechless on that, really. Anyways, what he was talking about was his, issues and opinions. And so, see, I don't think he really had anything set up like as a plateau or anything particular. I think it was just more like just chatting and talking things that coming out of his mind and what he thinking and this and that. So it wasn't really planned or organized. And honestly, I was somewhat disappointed, but I was also more disappointed how he talked about the Olympics in 2012. And I did watch the video he recommended, and it was kind of odd that he takes a video and he looks at it, and to be honest, it was Harry Potter, and everybody knows, a lot of people know about the Harry Potter type of films. It was like the old, not medieval, but the old kind of witch and broom kind of thing, and sorcery, and like Merlin the magician kind of thing with the black magic and all that stuff. So everybody's very familiar with that, bedknob and broomstick and all that kind of floating beds and the kind of stuff, And he takes this video and he kind of, like, I can't say if it is anything to do with the cabal or not. Well, the choreography with the 50-foot guy or not, I don't know. I can't say. I am hoping not, but this is just my opinion. I'm just expressing my opinion. And I was watching pretty much the whole thing. I was just a little bit disappointed. He didn't say anything fresh. He didn't see anything new. And, obviously maybe that wasn't his intention. I think he just wanted to talk and shoot the breeze. And, well, like I said, he's got a lot of good information. There's a couple of things he did mention, like he did mention about needing food for 2 weeks or so. But he didn't say, he said specifically soon. He didn't give a certain date. Of course, a lot of people were slamming because I thought it was a joke. And to be honest, I thought it was a joke too. But actually, a couple of months later, bang, this happened. Now, was the inside that he said was an insider told him this? Now, was this? I'm just wondering, was this planned? And they told him this or not? Because it's kind of like right on. Like how can you have such a wide thing happen and know it's going to be staying at home, but they don't say why they're staying home? But he didn't even know why himself. But that's what he said he was told. I'm thinking they were planning this, and they just slipped that information just so that he could warn us. Make it look like it was a deep state operation. That's a possibility. I can't misconclude that. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that the information, because he talked about the only information new was George Floyd, the Olympics, that was new, and what else? I think something else too. I can't remember, or the I can't remember something else too. He mentioned about the Olympics. Oh yeah, some guy setting him one black guy setting himself on fire, setting fire in the back, and he was shooting himself in the head with a gun or something. He showed that, which didn't look too great. I didn't really like that, but it is what it is. So he showed that, and I was like, okay, that's the only things that are somewhat interesting. But of course, he's like mentions that might have connection with the cabal, and then he mentioned about the Minneapolis fire regarding the George Floyd situation, and he mentioned that the people that were arrested were possibly, I guess, I don't know, possibly or was affiliated with some organization from another state, and maybe he probably concluded that it might have been from a deep state organization, like a push, like I don't know, like where does he get, like how does he get this information? Even if you get information, does he check it with somebody to get a second source? Did he call the police department? Did he call the mayor to find out the real information? I don't think so. I think somebody just told him, or he just came to that conclusion and just said an insider. And this is where I'm starting to lose credibility in him. Like he's not providing much proof. That's what I like about Stephen Greer. I'm not trying to say, like, everybody's different. Everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own ways of reporting things. But Stephen Greer, in my opinion, he's more organized. He's got his paperwork. He's got his documentation. He's got witnesses. He might have insiders, but he's been to the president. He's been to your White House. He's been to all these Congress, the people, and he's talked to a lot of military and politicians and this and that. So I would believe him more. But then again, be honest, we were born to be skeptical, because we're only believing what we're given and what we understand. That's why a lot of us are skeptical. Okay, and it's a normal thing. Like if I said I'm going to have $1 million in the bank tomorrow, and you go, yeah, okay, whatever, you don't believe me, and the next day, well, where's $1 million? Well, it's supposed to come. That I don't believe you, but let's say 2 weeks later, I get $1 million. You see, I told you. Honestly, I wouldn't have believed you. The other guy was skeptical, or I was skeptical. I didn't even believe it myself until it actually physically happened. Another thing I heard from him, he was mentioning in one of his videos, like I said, I try to be open-minded. I try to accept things. And like I said, I tend to want more evidence, more proof. And he did provide some of the seminars proof, but the rest is a little bit shaky. He was talking about, what the heck was he talking about? I can't remember now. Okay, I'll come back to that. There was another segment I was listening to, Randy Kramer. He was talking about medical beds. Now, the medical beds, I would love to see that happen. That we could have, medical beds in pretty much every hospital to regenerate the body, add new limbs, fix hearts, fix lungs, wipe out diseases. But there's something that bothered me what he was saying, and it's just I was a little bit disappointed, and I can understand some ethics of what he was saying. He was saying that he didn't feel comfortable giving control to other hospitals and this and that, which I can understand. But the only thing that bothered me, or actually a few things that didn't bother me, is easy accessibility. Okay. How many beds is he planning to manufacture? Okay. Number two, he wants to make this more easily available for everybody, right? Okay, fine. Now here's the big question. How much is it going to cost to heal you? Now it's not going to age regress you, as most likely what he said, but it's going to heal your body, add you a new arm, like your original arm, fix your leg, fix your heart, take away the disease and give you a new lung, new heart, new body, new, fix your hair, fix, your whatever, which is great. But here's the big question. Is this going to all be for free? Which I don't believe so. Sure, they might charge less than a hospital would charge, but the question, I'll give you an example. Let's say I want to, scan my body and, grow my fingers better, or, I don't know, like check to see my body is having any medical issue, and, there's something that can be fixed, like my growth or something, my calcium deficiency or something. I could go back to being, better, or something like that. What can it do? He said pretty much everything. Well, except he's not going to program it to be age regress. Because he goes, he probably can do it if the right program, but he doesn't want. He said he didn't want to do that because he didn't think people would be mature enough to deal with it, which makes sense in a certain way. Personally, I don't think that's his business to do it, because if somebody has a machine, they can do it. Now, well, they probably would do it if they had the right program. Now, here's the big question. Well, that might have to steal a program if it is. Here's the big question. Let's say he has the only machine. Okay, obviously he's got a patent and protect it. If he has the only machine, or let's say he has patent to it, will he control the pricing? And here's the problem. Let's say it's in the States, and like Los Angeles or Florida or Minnesota or Las Vegas or wherever he may be. If there's only one machine, does that mean if I want to fix myself, I have to fly all the way there just to do this, and then, pay for the trip, and then I got to pay for the operation or for the procedure? And how much is that going to cost? You know what I mean? And how long will that take? This is the thing he doesn't explain. I mean, okay, I can't expect him to explain everything until he gets it, but it would be nice. Now, here's the thing that kind of also bothered me, is the fact that when he mentioned about the machine, that obviously he doesn't have a prototype. He doesn't have anything really ready for the investors, but he has some people interested, but they want a proof, they want a prototype of this and that. But he got nothing, and he wonders why he doesn't have no money, no sponsor. But he goes, well, I'll get it, but might take about 20 years till I get a. Okay, so you're going to now wait 20 years for those people who are sick, who have diseases, who have missing limbs, who have been the legs shot off, and that you're going to make people wait 20 years? And when they say it's a reasonable amount. Okay, maybe to you it is, but let me ask you this. If you're the only one or your organization, wouldn't you want to make it within 5 years and, talk to people to finance it, but you explain to them, hey, listen, I need money for financing so I can make the prototype. I'm hoping to get it within 2 years, pay the around the clock. It's going to cost that much. And once you get the prototype, we test it. And if it works, then we promote it. And then we whatever, this and that. And listen, obviously people are going to want a piece of the pie. It's not a surprise. It's not, I wouldn't say it's not right, but that's the way it is. Okay. And even if you can get a unaffiliated partner that's willing to pay it up without any expectation, that's better for you. But that's just my opinion. But as for the 20 years wait business, I mean, it's not for me. I mean, yeah, I would like that myself, but who doesn't? But it's for humanity, like I know 20 years, but that's a long wait, because what happens if you pass away or you die? Okay. What's going to happen after that? The person who has the plans might turn greedy and decide to make money and just whatever. I made the product, I make money, and you're not there to stop it. Like you got to protect your investment. That's just my opinion. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that. Oh, also another thing too about the 20 and back program. I'm a little bit confused, because if the 20 and back was abducted by the military cabal or whoever's up there in space, here's a question. If you came back and you remember this, and the American president or whoever's, or any leader, if they're not aware of this and you try to explain it, you have proof, why wouldn't they send the military to investigate this claim? Because this is not a claim, a frivolous claim. This is a very serious, according deep state, issue that could literally change humanity. Why wouldn't you tell the president? And if the president doesn't do anything about it, so either he doesn't give a rat's ass, he doesn't care about space, he just cares about politics. Oh, you want to go in space? Sure, no problem. Go ahead. We'll do this. We got great things, Space Force. Or he does, but he's being very, very diplomatic, or he just doesn't care. One of the three. I mean, he just thinks this guy's a joke, And if you're getting all these people, this is the thing. If you get like all the people, all the whistleblowers that have been on TV, and you do like Stephen Greer does, okay? Get in front of Congress and have all these people, all your documentation, do a seminar with all these leaders, even with Stephen Greer, work with him. You can maybe, and here's what you should do. And this is the part I don't understand. They complain or say that the media doesn't want to report this. Okay, fine. Maybe they don't want to report it because they don't think you're serious enough. They don't think you probably think they rather report Donald Trump. Here's the part that bothers me. They say they can't get anybody. Yet Donald Trump can get a TV immediately online. Immediately. So why don't you go to the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and talk to him? Say, hey, listen, go with Stephen Greer, go with all these people and say, we want a meeting and here's the issue, and try to convince them, and talk to all your chief advisors or people that you trust and say, we're going to bust this. We're going to find out. We got a lot of evidence to prove it, and there's a lot of people that claim it's real. Do we want to make our world better now, or do we want to wait till 20 years till the economy is completely wrecked? Okay. And of course, I live in Canada. So people think so why do you care? Because what affects the United States affects Canada, Mexico, South America, all around the world. Okay. What they say is what doesn't hurt you will kill you. So if it doesn't affect you, eventually it'll kill you. Make it worse. So what I'm saying is, if it is real, go to the president. So you're telling me, so is the president part of the cabal or not? If they're saying no, then why would he not do anything? Why wouldn't he call his generals or head of defense, head of Homeland Security, say, we got a lot of issues with this. I want to get to the bottom of this. I want you to assign, your best men on this, not just one. I want like a big team to find out, go to these places and find out. If you report anything, let me know, and keep this, and people try to turn it down, then you fire them, just say, hey, this is top one. This is top priority. This is a top black priority. Do not tell anybody this. Keep it to yourself, something like that, I don't know why anybody would want to hurt humans, hurt humanity. For what purpose? You want to be big in your world. You want to be the biggest human race in the galaxy. Let us expand. You want to be super soldiers? I'm going to tell you something. Here's my opinion about super soldiers. Super soldiers are like toy soldiers. They eventually break down and thrown away. Okay? So you're going to now waste resources, waste effort to try to train somebody, and eventually it's going to be obsolete. I remember I watched a movie with, I think it was called Super Soldier. I can't remember what it was, where actually it's ironic because it actually explained about one soldier was born to be a soldier, and he was training and he was this, and that's all he knew. He was bred to be a soldier, and he would be thrown in with a spaceship, like a plane, trooper plane or something, like a almost like a shuttle. And they would like 20 guys would go down. They're all muscular, stuff like that. I can't remember who was the guy. I can't remember, so long ago. And anyways, he was big, muscular, and he jumped off the plane. He started beating and this and that. And one day, they found him useless, and then they just threw him on a planet like the garbage. He was obsolete. And then he was there. It's kind of like the Mad Max era of being in another planet. And he had to survive on his own. And then one day, the next trooper plane showed up, a trooper ship, and he managed, if I remember correctly, it's been so long ago, he managed to get back up and take the ship and go back home and find out who, signed the order to get rid of him. And then when they found out that he was on the loose, they sent the newer versions, a more stronger, more younger, more stronger, more up to date fighters. Of course, he won at the end because that's part of the Hollywood. But I can't remember who was the guy. But if I ever find out, I'll let you know in the next video. So yeah, I mean, this is basically almost a similar aspect of what I've been hearing even with Randy Kramer. Okay, very similar type, super soldier bred, and it kind of makes somewhat sense. Now, whether he took that story was true or he took it from a movie, that's a possibility. Or like even Cyborg, with Van Damme, or Vin Diesel. I think he was in there. I couldn't remember, but I think it's somebody else too. The guy from wrestling, I can't remember his name. He was in that one too. But yeah, I mean, I was really disappointed. With the 20 years, I have to wait for a Metabed, and I was disappointed in David Wilcock, and like I was looking forward to. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, he has a lot of good contents, but this one I was really looking forward to hearing some new stuff before I go to work and before I'm back to my job, and I was really pumped and hoping to get a good last video before I go back to work the next day, and all I hear is like a couple of disappointed me. So I was really looking forward, but yeah, that's about it really for now. I just wanted to share that, and I hope things get better in this world and life, and I hope listen. I really hope we do meet alien life because here's another question before I leave. Do we really want to meet aliens? This is a big question that I would have to ask myself every day. Technologically and for health and lifestyle, yes. But will it ever be for free? Like, free energy, free this? No, I don't believe it at all. I don't believe any of this stuff will be for free. There's no way. You would have to burn the world before that could ever be for free. If you want it for free, you would have to literally jump on a UFO, go to another planet, hide in the jungle, and live for free if you have a lot of food and all that stuff. And just live your life there for free, no charge. You know what I mean? Or if you want, you can always sell your house, go in the jungle, go in the bushes, build a shack, build a tree house, and live there. Providing there's a lot of food in your area. If you want to make a garden, hopefully you don't get caught. Maybe buy a lot in Costa Rica on the island and live with the dinosaurs. Hopefully not. Oh, there's one other thing too that really bothered me before I go. One more. Joanne Richards. There was a lot of stuff that she did say that was really fascinating, interesting, but there's some things that really bother me. She likes to giggle way too much. I mean, that's her personality. I have to accept it. Well, I wouldn't be giggling that much. I mean, especially if your husband is in jail because of murder he claims and does not commit or did not commit. And then one of her videos said that he was in jail to keep his don't speak about the space program, keep his mouth shut. And frankly, I'm confused now. And she kept like joking, like, she's happy, that he's in jail. Now, this is my impression, okay? And I don't know how anybody would be happy. I mean, I know she's trying to be cheery because she doesn't want to seem like she's sad. Maybe that might be the case. But there's some things that really, when she talks about the Raptors, which I understand that's her prerogative, but she has all these drawings, even about the mantis and this and that. And obviously, people are not going to have Polaroid pictures, but just like look like cartoons. And it's just like, oh my lord! I mean, at least try to get a more better picture out. It looks like something like kid with cartoon. And the way she keeps talking about it, she needs to polish up her explanation more. I mean, yeah, she did tell a lot of good stuff, but the way she talks about it, it's like she's talking about the memory like she experienced. I don't know. I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but it got to a point when she kept giggling every 10 seconds. It's like, oh my lord, I was starting to get a headache. I'm like, I can keep going on. And just like that guy, Alex, I can't remember his name now. Well, Stephen Greer did an interview with one guy, and this guy kept, I think I mentioned this in another video, he kept interrupting Stephen Greer. Every time he asked a question, he would not let him finish. And I think Stephen Greer was starting to get aggravated because I could see in his eyes, just like, he's trying to finish the sentence, and the guy kept interrupting him. So yeah, I mean, it's really like people. If you're going to interview people, if you're going to interview your guests, let them finish the. I mean, obviously, some people like to go on and on and on and on. Like if it seems like it's going on, there's no really point to it. Then you can interrupt them politely. But if you're going to ask them and you expect an answer, don't cut it off and ask another important question. I mean, listen, I have a time like just say to him politely, listen, I know there's a lot of stuff, the topic to say. Can you keep it short or just, keep it brief? We'll get to the next questions because you want to ask a lot of questions. Be more politer, not just like interrupt. And at the end of the show, he goes, okay, but thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, but goodbye. Kind of thing like that. It's like, what the heck? That is so rude. If I would have done, if it would have been me, I would have let the show finish and I would have given him crap for it. Okay, that's just my opinion. And well, actually, this is more my rants and rave. Okay, why am I talking like this? Because there's a lot of questions. I'm more like a borderline skeptic, more like I want to believe, and I do believe that is a very possibility, but there's a lot of elements that I can believe and I want to believe, but there's a lot of elements that sound too suspicious or just far-fetched. So I'm kind of like in the border of both. So what do you find about the secret space program informants or the whistleblower? What do you find that you like to hear more, or what bothers you, or what's you like to change or add on? You tell me in your comments, or just subscribe to my page, and hopefully we'll keep in touch. And if there's anything you want to talk about specifically, even if it's about the secret space program or opinion or any topic that you want to discuss, feel free, and we will do it again. All right. So again, thank you very much for stopping by, and hope to see you soon. All right. Okay. Take care.